Okay, so we're diving into some spooky stuff today, right?
Yeah.
Ghosts. You've been looking into this, and it looks like you've got some notes from a video all about ghosts.
It seems like people are just fascinated by ghosts, and it makes sense. I mean, they top up in ancient cultures all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that maybe death isn't the end, that some part of us sticks around,
Yeah.
it's definitely creepy, but also kind of cool.
Absolutely.
The guy who made this video, Vynix,
Yeah.
he does a good job at describing this world where, like, the dead are just hanging out with us, you know? But let's talk about some specifics, because your notes also mention some real-life encounters,
Right.
like the Amityville Horror.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it about haunted houses that just freaks everyone out?
Well, a house is supposed to be safe, right? Your safe space. So when
Yeah.
something you can't see messes with that feeling of security, it really gets to you.
Yeah,
Like Amityville, that story about that family just being tortured by, well, something they couldn't even see. Ugh. It plays on those fears big time.
right.
Then you've got the Winchester Mystery House, too. Hallways that never end, stairs that just go to nowhere.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about that place.
It's almost like the afterlife itself, all confusing and jumbled up.
And you even found something closer to home. This Delhi's Kuni Darwaza. I mean, the name itself, Bloody Gate, just tells you there's something going on there, right?
For sure.
But, you've got notes about different kinds of ghosts, too. Like poltergeists,
Yeah.
spirits, phantoms. It's like there's a whole system for categorizing them.
Totally. It's not just one type of ghost, right? Like poltergeists are known for causing trouble. They like to mess with things.
Yeah.
Then you've got spirits that are connected to a specific person or place. And then there are the really creepy ones, like phantoms and specters.
Oh, yeah. The ones that are harder to explain.
Each type of ghost, it has its own story and, reflects how people think about fear and the unknown.
So we've got ancient origins, real-life hauntings, and, like you said, a whole taxonomy of ghosts. But then there's how all of this plays into pop culture. I mean, there's everything from The Conjuring with its super scary demons to Stranger Things, where the real world and the upside down get all mixed up.
Right. And it's interesting, right? Because these movies, these stories, they're not real, but they still tap into those same fears and stuff we've been talking about.
Like they're a safe way to explore the things we're afraid of.
Exactly.
Wow.
And maybe even find something, well, kind of wonderful in thinking about things we just don't understand.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like we can think about these big ideas without having to actually confront them in real life.
Yeah.
But your notes also talk about ghost hunting and the gear they use. EVP recorders, EMF meters. It's like they're trying to use science to prove something that's, well, not very scientific.
Yeah, it's kind of a contradiction. Like, there's no real scientific proof that ghosts exist, but people still want evidence, right? Something concrete.
To prove all those stories people have been telling for centuries.
Right.
So what do you think about all of this? I mean, we've gone through a lot here. Centuries of ghost stories and beliefs from all over the world. Different types of ghosts and hauntings. And how this stuff shows up in books, movies, and even in science.
Well, what really gets to me is that even if ghosts are just something we made up, something in our imagination, why are we so obsessed with them?
And why do we keep telling these stories?
Maybe it's because we need something more, something beyond what we can see and touch. We want mystery and a little bit of the unknown.
Maybe they help us think about our biggest fears and hopes and, I don't know, maybe even connect us with something bigger than ourselves.
Right.
It's a reminder that even in a world obsessed with facts, there's still space for wonder and the possibility of things we just can't explain.
For sure.
So, if you're interested in all of this, I'd say look into one of the cases we talked about, or check out the research that's being done on, paranormal stuff. Who knows? Maybe you'll find something really interesting out there.
Maybe you'll even find a ghost.
Maybe. All right, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of ghosts. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.